It is the dead of summer, and I haven't been up here in a really long time. Everything has just grown all over each other, especially these guys, which I'll get to in a minute. It's been amazing to be so busy with landscaping, but I also feel oddly guilty coming back up here and seeing that I've neglected it so badly. I'm gonna take this opportunity to show you guys how you can prune up your garden and make it a place that you want to come back to again. The last time I came up here was to get some chives for dinner, and there was like 877 spiders. There's also a lot of other reasons why you want to clean up your garden. One being that when plants are overgrown and the circulation is restricted, they can become susceptible to powdery mildew and molds and things like that, which can spread very quickly to other plants nearby and just take out your entire garden. Like last year when I got it on my tomatoes and I had to remove all the tomato plants, which you can imagine was heartbreaking, and then it spread to my cucumbers and melons. So that's a big reason, but it's also a great time to prune a lot of things that I have going on here and just make it look nicer. So follow me around and I'll show you how I'm going to clean this place up. The first most obvious thing to talk about are these crazy vines. These are my cucamelons, which I planted like 2 years ago after getting recommended them by Christy Wilhelmi from The Garden Nerd, who is, a real OG plant expert here in LA. And she was right. These plants do really well in our climate. What happens is that these cute little cucumber-y looking, actually they look like little watermelons, grow, and they're delicious. However, it grows so many, its yield is incredible. And they just, if you can't keep up with them, which I obviously can't, they fall into the beds or over the edge into my lawn, and then they just sprout up wherever they want. So every year I'm getting more and more, and they're in every corner of the garden here, and you can see they're just taking over other plants, which again is bad for circulation. Obviously these plants aren't getting light like they should, all covered in vines, so I'm gonna remove them from all of this. And actually what's underneath here are some chickpeas that I believe are ready for harvest. So I'm also going to be pulling those up. You know that these guys are ready for harvest when they've turned kind of tannish. They're originally sort of green, obviously, and then they turn this tan color. So I'm just gonna remove the plants themselves and then take them back to the comfort of my AC in my kitchen and take all of the beans out of the pods. I also have corn over here that was first attacked by the squirrels and now it's being attacked by the cucamelons, and I'm gonna take that off as well. While I was removing my cucamelons from the bed, I also removed the chickpea or garbanzo beans that I had in here. And I was hoping that those were a good time to harvest. I think I may have left it too late. There's still more. It's everywhere. When chickpeas are ready to harvest, you can take this little tan bean pod and shake it, and it will actually rattle. Hear that? So I took those out, the garbanzo beans. I took out the corn back there, which not only the cucamelons had taken over, but the squirrels had their way with. And now I have quite a bit of open space, which is great because in just a few weeks we're going to start planting our fall crops, and it's awesome to have room for that. Even though a lot of the crops that grow here in Southern California continue later than in other parts of the country and the world, it's actually kind of a luxury to have this space open and be able to plant something in there soon. All right, let's keep going. Wow, the asparagus has some issues going on. So this asparagus is 2 years old. This is its second year. I planted it from seed last year. And asparagus is a perennial, meaning that it comes back every year, and usually it dies back to the ground, or you cut it back to the ground in between seasons. What's really cool about asparagus is that every year the spears get thicker and thicker. It's actually common practice to not harvest any of the spears the first year or even 2 years, and just to allow the foliage to grow. And that will strengthen the crown, which is the rhizome. And that's kind of a fleshy bit of stem right at the ground level, which stores food for future plant growth. So a lot of different plants have rhizomes. This is just one of them. I was fine with leaving this foliage here so that it could strengthen the crown, but actually the foliage looks like it has little black stuff all over it, which could be some kind of a mold, which is not great. I see it on this butterfly bush right next to me as well. I'm gonna just remove all of this to the ground, which it's more a preventative measure for this mold situation. However, in some cases, cutting back your asparagus in the late summer can also induce a second crop of spears to grow up, so hey, you never know. Ooh, I hear a buzzing beetle. There are a bunch of these little red milkweed beetles that love to eat the butterfly bush, which, you know, are not, oh gosh, no, actually no, that's a big beetle. That's a June bug. Yeah, that's a pretty loud one. It went away. So there's a lot of stuff going on in here, which probably wasn't great for this asparagus, but you know, here we are, and we'll start from fresh and see what we can do about these little buggies. And God. Oh my God, June bug. I'm gonna go ahead and remove some of this guy too. It sheds all of this little cottony stuff that's got seeds in it, and so this is the way it disperses itself and makes its way around to make flowers elsewhere, which is why I have this stuff growing all over my yard, but it's actually quite pretty when it's not infested with mold. So I'm gonna cut it back really low, just like I did the asparagus, and see how it grows back. It's pretty hardy, and I just wanna clean this up. Voila! What do you think? It's getting dark and I'm sweaty and I'm covered with beetles and things, but I actually really do feel like I wanna hang out here more, and it feels more manageable. So if you ever get to that point where you're like, oh man, my garden's kind of bad, I don't know if I should go up there right now, just do it, because then you're winning. Okie dokie, artichokes. I'll see you next week. I just wanted to show you all the stuff I cut and I threw, and it's hanging by, I think, like a little tomato volunteer that's been growing off the side of the roof garden for a couple years now. I'm gonna have to get this down. Okay. Oh God.